Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, Joey D's and some other people might be excited. There's a new video game coming out, a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game. It's called Shredder's Revenge.
Is Shredder, is he the rat?
No, that's Splinter.
Dude. Splinter. Sorry, it's early, man.
Shredder's the big bad guy. And
that's right.
I don't know why he needs revenge. He's been trying to kick their ass for how long? I mean, he doesn't need any revenge.
He's the middle guy who looks like a cheese grater.
Right.
Yeah.
And next year they're putting out a game called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Shredder just won't give the F up.
Yeah. Splinter's Revenge might be a whole other thing. I'm not sure what the hell that's all about, but so it's coming out soon. But that's cool, I think, for a lot of Turtles fans. But what might be cooler for a lot of people is the fact that they got Faith No More's Mike Patton to sing the iconic Turtles theme.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in the hot shell.
Turtle power.
That's amazing.
That is really awesome.
So good. It just put me in a good mood, man. I love that theme song. And I love Mike Patton. He's one of my all-time favorite singers. Faith No More is one of my all-time favorite bands. When I saw this, at first I thought it was like a mashup, and so he was just messing with people. I'm like, why would he do this? And then when I clicked on it, I was expecting like him to intentionally try and make it like crazy, him screaming. Mike Patton likes to just mess with people and likes to do things that are a little bit more out of the ordinary. And if you didn't tell me that was Mike Patton, I would have no idea that it was him because it's just so true to the song.
Yeah, it's so much fun, man.
Yeah.
It does bring back memories. Now, I only know Turtles because that was Joey's favorite stuff growing up. And
was
so
it?
Oh, yeah. He loved the Turtles.
Oh, I dressed up with them all the time. I had a lunchbox. I was Donatello. I was Raphael. I was all of them at one point.
But which one's your main guy?
Oh, man. Don't
Van
make
Gogh?
me pick. Van Gogh. Yeah, I was Vincent Van Gogh, the turtle.
He liked the green one.
The forgotten turtle.
Oh, man. I think I'd have to go Raphael, though.
Which color was he?
He was the red one.
Red.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Raffy. Yeah.
Man, it's been forever.
Oh, yeah. And I was just the parent, you know what I mean? It's like everything he loved. And so I hear that song and it brings me back to when Joey was like a little kid and those wonderful memories, which, is pretty awesome.
See, this was still in my wheelhouse. Like, I loved Ninja Turtles, and I always loved playing with my cousins as Donatello, because Donatello had the bow staff.
Oh, yeah. He was purple, right? Was he the purple dude?
He was the purple one. He was the smart one with computers, but that bow staff was key, because you could get any broomstick and take off the broom part, and you would have a bow staff. So I wouldn't have to worry about a sword or anything, and I could just whack people with the stick.
With the stick.
Which I'm sure didn't hurt anybody.
Not at all. It was fun. We were playing.
Would you say, is that the best cartoon theme song?
Oh, wow. You are throwing a lot out there.
I'm asking. I'm not saying. This is not a hot take from Steve.
Hold on a second. But the fact that you even ask means you think it might be.
I got to imagine it's got to be in the top 5. I mean, my first thought is G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, a real American hero.
Oh, but there's so many cartoons like the Flintstones theme, Scooby-Doo. Boy, that's a tough one.
Scooby-Doo.
Where
are you?
Flintstones.
Meet the Flintstones.
I mean, that's a tough one, dude. There's a lot of great cartoon themes.
Oh, DuckTales.
Yeah.
I was hoping people would go, ooh.
I don't know DuckTales very well, but I know people love that theme, but I can't remember it. That was after my time, Rev.
I didn't think of this because this is later in my childhood, like almost teenage years, but SpongeBob is probably one of the more iconic.
Oh, yeah, boy, that's definitely got to be in the top 5, Vicky. You're right.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're all on board with Jem, right? It's truly outrageous.
Okay, no.
Truly outrageous.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I don't even
I thought
know
you guys
what
were going to go, whoa with me.
No, why? You know, sometimes, Steve, I don't understand, like, the shows that you just, like, what?
It was on. It was like I had a DVR when I was a kid.
It was on, ladies and gentlemen.
You wake up in the morning, and that was one of the cartoons that was on. So I'm like, well, you're either with it or against it, and I thought Jem was kind of cute.
Okay.
As a kid.
Yeah, well, and I was watching video. Vicky showed me the video of the theme song that Mike Patton did, and I saw April O'Neil, and I forgot. Oh yeah, that was another reason why I liked watching it with Joe.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Joe didn't know it at the time, but hey, this is something they've been doing a long time. Before we got to watch whatever show we wanted to watch, they always had to throw something in there for the adults. So there was always some hotness. While the kids didn't care, the adults did.
It's a nice father-son moment as son's watching the Ninja Turtles and dad's lusting over a cartoon news reporter.
I'm sure I'm not the only guy that did that, Steve.
No, but I was a teenager.
Okay, and you were a mutant, so there you go.
Thanks.
All right, well, the guy got arrested. Now, that's not unusual news, but how about he got arrested because he possessed gummy bears? Now, that is a bit odd. Steve's going to tell us all about this. He's got the Mix Report for us at 6:19 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
If you're hearing an informative newscast right now, well, then you must not be listening to BJ and Migs. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, you guys. Thanks to Advanced Hair Restoration for giving us the Migs Report. And today is your day, BJ. It's also my day for two different reasons. Today is National Promposal Day, so hopefully your cousin will contact you.
Yeah.
How funny we talked about that yesterday, and today is Promposal Day.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
The day where you ask somebody to go to the prom, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, is that what you guess?
Yeah. It's also, though, National Popcorn Lovers Day, a day meant for yours truly.
Ooh.
Every night I enjoy some popcorn.
I like popcorn.
Maybe I'll give a little shout out to our friend Smith Family Popcorn, Ted Smith's family. Over in Cape Cod, they do the whole bucket popcorn, and I highly recommend getting it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, the Tuscan Joy is my jam. Also, all the other ones are great as well. But
Smith Family Popcorn. Look it up, kids.
Yep.
You won't be disappointed.
Great people. Wait, good people, great popcorn. I think that's their slogan.
Oh, okay. Did you say poople?
Did I?
I don't think you did.
Oh, then I heard it in my head that way. Great poople.
Great poople? I hope I didn't say that.
Good peep corn.
I mean, they are that too. They're great poople.
They are great poople.
Good people. Great popcorn.
That's right.
Poople.
I can't believe I heard that in my head. I'm losing my mind.
You know what? There'll probably be some texters who say that they heard it as well. Sometimes it just happens. I don't know, you hearing it or me saying it, but it just happens.
It just happens.
All right, let's talk about this guy. He's 40 years old, and his name is Lopez, and he almost crashed into a gas pump at a Circle K in Florida, so somebody called the cops, like, hey, this guy seems like something's wrong with him. Police show up. He says that his car wouldn't start, and then he didn't have the keys as well. But then he realized that he did have them, and they were just in his pocket. So, of course, the cops are like, what the hell is going on with this guy? Can we see your license? And he's like, sure. And he pulled out a bag of marijuana edibles instead. They were gummy edibles.
Oh, those are good.
Now he's like, yo, no, these are just regular candy, man. They're not marijuana edibles. Problem is that the cops saw the label, which said cannabis infused.
Whoops.
And the name of the gummy bears wasn't just gummy bears, it was dank gummies.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So, like, come on, man. What the hell? So then the guy goes, they're not mine. They're my girlfriend's, and she got them because, well, she has cancer. They don't know if that's true or not, but they don't even know if he has a girlfriend. Well, eventually they just found more edibles in his car.
Okay.
They also found some cocaine in his car.
Oh, boy.
And now he's, in a little bit of trouble for drug charges.
Yeah, chances are it's not for his girlfriend.
Dank gummies.
Yeah.
Dank gummy.
Yeah. I remember Dankies. Those were so good. The Twinkies.
Oh, the Twinkies,
my gosh.
Those are so good.
Those are trouble. Oh, yeah, those are good times. Let's talk about this story. A guy in Texas who decided he wanted a BMW really bad, to the point where he went to a bank, he robbed it, and then tried to use the cash that he robbed from the bank to buy this BMW. Went to the car dealership, and he said, hey, I'd like to test drive this BMW. So they're like, sure, here's the keys. So then he leaves. And that's when he drove to the bank with the car that he wanted to buy. So at least he was trying to see how good of a car it was.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Robbed the bank, demanded $10,000, and then went right back to the dealership and said, hey, I got some money to buy the car. Of course, while this is going on, the cops called the dealership to say, hey, we believe that you guys have a dude that just robbed a bank. Can you keep him there until the cops show up? And they were able to do that, and they arrested him.
Oh, congratulations to that guy.
Right? Dumbass. So I think a few of us have Apple Watches. I never thought that it would save somebody's life, but this actually happened in New Hampshire. A guy by the name of William, he was ice skating on a body of water because it was frozen, but he fell through the ice. That's my biggest fear. I've always wanted to do pond hockey, but with all my goalie gear, I'm watch, I'm the one that's going to crack the ice and fall right through because of all the extra weight. Yeah. Then he thought of doing something that I wouldn't even thought of. He used his Apple Watch because he didn't have his phone on him, but he had his watch. So he was able to make the phone call on his watch. Firefighters showed up 5 minutes later, and they were fortunately able to save his life. Here he is talking about it.
It's that terrible feeling. I'm going in the water. First thing I did was tried to walrus up on the ice, and the ice just kept on breaking underneath me. That's when it occurred to me, work to save my life. So I told them that I probably had 10 minutes before I was not going to be able to respond anymore. I'm really grateful for them. So thank those folks. I thank them. The nurse at the ER said, buy a lottery ticket.
Oh, yeah, because he should be dead. Is that basically what it is?
Or that he's just lucky.
Yeah. Buy a lottery ticket because you should be dead, sir.
Hey, you guys want the latest in the world of the Seahawks? Russell Wilson's still on the team. There you go.
Oh, okay, sweet. What? Well, that's not the drama I'm looking for.
Oh, man, it depends on which Twitter page you go to. I mean, there's people making fake accounts of like the Bob Condotas of the world, trying to make it look like he actually got traded to Chicago. I don't know if you saw a bunch of people were sharing the tweet that Russell Wilson put out where it just says Chicago in all caps with a bunch of exclamation points. Like, yep, it's confirmed. But nobody bothered to read the date that tweet went out, which was 2015. So unless Russell Wilson was planning this for the last 6 years.
Well, the separation's in the preparation. If anybody can plan stuff out.
You're absolutely right. I saw some guy who's apparently he's someone. Everyone's got sources, and he's like, Seattle wants to move Russ just as much as Wilson wants out. And that's been getting some traction as well. But what we do know is that the Seattle Seahawks now have a lot more cap space than they had last week. Last week they were going into it with about $4 million in cap space. Now they've jumped it up 400%. They have about $20.6 million in cap space. Because they just announced the salary cap space for the NFL, and it's going to be $182.5 million. So when free agency begins next weekend, they have a little bit more money to work with. According to some reports, they say that they have the 12th most in cap space, which, if you're into numbers, it's the 12th man. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I'm not into numbers, clearly.
Yeah.
They got rid of Carlos Dunlap. They also they announced that they're not going to franchise tag Chris Carson or Shaquille Griffin, as both are going into the world of free agency. So it looks like possibly the team's going to need not only an offensive line, mainly a center and a left guard, but possibly a running back, a new tight end that's going to be a starter, a pass rusher as well. There's a lot of things they got to take care of.
Yeah. Yep. And yep.
Next week should be interesting. We'll see what. Typically, they don't make those big splashes right in the beginning of free agency. So it'll be. I'm curious to see how things are going to go next week with how all the drama's been unfolding with Russell Wilson and the team.
Well, it's very interesting. Got a new offensive coordinator, and Chris Carson. They've decided we're not going to tag. I wonder if there is going to be a little change, and they're not going to be a run first offense, which is what Pete loves.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, you got Carlos Hyde also going into free agency, but they believe they're going to be able to keep him according to reports because he's probably not going to be asking for as much as Chris Carson. Chris Carson's probably going to get paid pretty decently and want way more than what the Seahawks are going to offer him. So, see what happens with that.
Yeah, well, he's got to stay healthy.
That is a very, very good point, BJ. As far as weather, 54 degrees, going to be sunny later on today, and that's the Migs Report, and that's what's up.
Hey, listen, I think you forgot today's Thursday.
It is.
Yeah, and I'm wearing my Kraken gear. We didn't. We do that later, don't we? Yep. Oh, I'm losing my mind.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, I thought Steve was the guy. Never mind. Revs. There we go. All right, never mind. Here I was thinking I'm early.
Spoiler alert, man.
Sorry, dude.
BJ, now everyone knows we're wearing Kraken shirts. Jeez,
Come on.
Sorry,
on a
dude.
Kraken Thursday.
I can't believe it. Yeah,
I was like,
right.
what did I do?
No, you didn't do anything. I don't know why I thought you were the Release the Kraken guy, but it's Rev, isn't it?
Yeah, it has been since, the whole thing started.
Yeah, it starts. I tell you, as the memory starts. I was sitting there going, I don't understand it. Is it me? So I was like, well, I better say something. Steve doesn't want to miss these things. And turns out you didn't miss anything. Well, anyway, congratulations to me. At least I remembered the right day.
Yes, and I'm happy to see you're wearing it.
I am. Oh, yeah.
Did you remember to wear your pants today, though? It seems like you kind of forget.
Well, listen, let's not talk about that, because that may happen more than it should. We got a great story about a 22-year-old woman who anonymously posted a story on Reddit about how her 3-year relationship ended recently when her 24-year-old boyfriend noticed she was making a lot of suspiciously long trips out of the home.
Ooh.
Oh, this story totally speaks to me. He confronted her last week for cheating on him and then dumped her. And then she's like, dude, I'm not cheating on you. Here's what's going on. Turns out he's a vegan, and she was sneaking out to go to McDonald's so she could have some meat in her life.
I knew it. I knew you were getting meat on the side. It's not that kind of meat, babe.
Yeah, it's not that kind of meat.
Knew you were getting a Big Mac. Who's Mac?
Oh, yeah. She's getting a Whopper.
That's Burger King.
Come on,
well,
BJ.
Listen, but Whopper works better for her getting it on the side. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Getting them spicy nugs.
There we go. Getting some spicy nugs.
Oh, you never know, man. Maybe she's just looking to go a little bit different. Goes for a fish sandwich, if you know what I mean, boys.
You made me snort.
Wow. I'm gonna, he did not believe her, and she was like, dude, I swear to you it's true. And now she's trying to figure out how she can prove this. She said, I never thought my relationship would end over something so stupid. I'm going to say this to her. If indeed she is telling the truth, and I have no reason not to believe her, she's winning the lottery by losing that guy, because that's an overly suspicious dude. Seriously. I mean, you can't go out of the house once in a while. Anyway, like you just assume you're cheating because you leave the house.
Well, in all fairness, though, what if he's like, "Hey, where are you going? You were gone for like an hour." And she's like, it starts sounding kind of shady because she doesn't want to admit that she was going to McDonald's to get some meat in her mouth. Like he's, after a while. I mean, I'm saying like I don't know who's right and who's wrong in this, but it's a tough thing to prove. Also, like if the guy thinks she's cheating, it's like it's so hard to prove not unless you can pull up the receipts that say, "Hey, look at all these trips to McDonald's."
Yeah, and I wonder if then he would dump her based on that, because I remember when my wife, when she was a hardcore vegetarian, she would not be married to anybody that wasn't, and I didn't cheat. Mm-hmm. All those years, I mean, it was almost 20 years I was a vegetarian. I did not cheat once, at least, without knowing about it. Like if I had some food that had meat in it, I didn't know, but otherwise I didn't intentionally go get some meat.
Okay, yeah, sometimes you accidentally slipped a little sausage in you, something like that,
well,
right?
that's a whole different story, Steve. And was that an accident? I don't know.
Dude, when my wife decided, she's like, I'm going to make, because she was never really, dairy didn't sit well with her. She wasn't a big fan of red meat and really chicken. Like, meat really wasn't anything. So she's like, I'm just going to go vegan and I'm just going to make it more a strict thing. And I remember I couldn't even imagine. She's like, I need you to do that as well. I would have, at first I was like, hey, I'll do it solidarity. And then within an hour, I was like, I'm out. I'm not doing this vegan thing. This is ridiculous. I can't give up cheese. I can't give up sushi, fish, all that stuff. That would have been a real tough argument to have with her. If she was like, no, you have to be a vegan as well.
Yeah, that was the deal back then. And so I was like, well, I want to be with this woman, so I guess this is what I got to do. And you were there, obviously, Steve, when I had my breakout day, when Kathy was like, you know what, the doctor says you should have some more meat. I was like, I got in the car and left.
You got all the meat.
Yeah, and you remember we were in San Francisco, and I had my first meat meal in almost 20 years. We had some clam chowder, and we were at some place in San Francisco. It was great.
Wasn't that right around the time it was the Chinese New Year?
Yes.
Yes, that was a good time. We went to Morton's.
Yes. Oh, dude.
Steakhouse.
And it was a little worried, like, well, I haven't had steak in a while, but you know what, boys, let's do it. I mean, I'll pay the price. But it turns out my body was like, don't worry, we've been waiting for this day. That was so good. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
Tabasco sauce is said to have originated in what Gulf Coast state?
New Mexico?
No.
Florida?
No.
All
right, Elmer.
California?
No.
Hunting rabbits over here.
Yeah, you were. But you were also hunting wrong answers. It was Louisiana. That was the song. That's the name of the state. I know what I'm doing. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We'll play Beat Migs at 647 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.